So now that we have a browser that will open it, we tested it, it tried to open it up in my browser. The second thing, or the third thing, and the last thing that I need is a programming language. Using this programming language, I'm going to create this web page in this document that I have here. Before we do that, we should talk a little bit about programming languages, because there is something that we need to know. Is that every programming language has a format, a specific format that it wants to be written in, or that it wants to be used. Every programming language. So let's talk about the beginning format, or the basic standard format of an HTML web page. What we're going to put inside of here. Every programming language has what we call reserved words. Words that mean something as a part of the programming language themselves. These reserved words are called keys. In HTML, they're called tags, T-A-G, a tag. And I have to be able to differentiate a tag or a reserved word separate and distinct from just any other word that I might want to display on my screen. So there has to be some way that I can differentiate these tags or these reserved words apart from everything else. So what HTML does, the programming language of HTML does, is it surrounds these special reserved words or these tags with less than, greater than symbols. And so the reserved word or the tag is written inside of here. And so HTML. This is a tag that is going to tell my browser or the program that's going to open this file that this is an HTML file. But we're going to find out that in HTML, we need to have what I like to call containers. I call them containers. And it's a symbol that denotes the beginning and the end of something. And I'm going to put stuff inside of it. And so the ending tag is going to need to look different than the beginning tag, so that when my browser is reading through it, it goes, oh, here's the beginning of your HTML file, and that this is the end of your HTML file, and everything inside of there is, well, HTML. And so the opening tags look different than the closing tags. The way that I open my container, for lack of a better phrase, and close it looks different. And so what we're going to do is we're going to put a slash mark, HTML. And that is how the system is going to differentiate between the opening and closing tag. So I'm going to call this a container. Inside of this container, there will be two more containers. Everything inside between the opening and closing HTML tags are HTML. It's going to be a web page. It's going to be the contents of my web page. In there, I'm going to put two more containers. The first container is going to be the head. This is the header. And then I'm going to put the closing tag for the header. Anything I put between the opening and closing tags of the header, instructions to the browser, so that the browser knows how to proceed. If you don't mind, I'm going to move this down a little bit because there is another container that I need to put inside of here. Inside of the HTML container is going to be a second container, and this is called the body. I have an opening body tag, and I need the corresponding closing body tag. Anything I put inside of that container, anything I put between that opening and closing tag will be displayed on my screen. So the instructions to the browser go inside of the head container. That means between the opening and closing head tags. Anything that I want displayed on my screen is going to go inside of the body container, or that means between the opening and closing body tags. Both of those containers are inside of this container called HTML. All right, so let's do that. This is the standard format of every HTML web page. Every web page has this same format. So let's come back into my document and we're going to type this up.